Some details about David Fincher's Seven aren't explicitly revealed, and one made way for a theory that claims this movie is secretly a superhero villain origin movie from a famous superhero universe. Strap in for this one. But before we get into it, if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button, drop a like and comment on the video, and if you're able, please sign up for channel memberships for exclusive content, which really helps us out. Anyway, back to the video. So, shortly after making his directorial debut with the sci-fi movie Alien 3, David Fincher paid a visit to a crime thriller genre with Seven. Written by Andrew Kevin Walker, Seven didn't perform well with critics during its initial release and was a sleeper hit. However, Seven is now regarded as one of the best movies of the 90s as well as one of Fincher's best works. Set in an unnamed crime-ridden city, Seven follows Detective Lieutenant William Somerset, who, 1 week before he retires, is partnered with young Detective David Mills. Together, they investigate a series of disturbing murders inspired by the 7 deadly sins. This leads them to John Doe, the man behind the murders, who has one final horrifying surprise for Somerset and Mills. Despite being an original story, a theory suggests Seven is linked to a famous superhero and tells the origin story of its most notable villain. The city Seven is set in is never revealed, but it's a very grim one in every way. Not only is it plagued by crime and corruption, but it's almost always raining, which only adds to the gloomy atmosphere of the city. The mystery of the city Seven is set in, its atmosphere and high crime rate have led to a theory shared on Reddit that Seven is set in Gotham City before the rise of Batman, hence why all the crime. It's not just the overall atmosphere of Gotham City that makes it a believable candidate for the setting of Seven, but also everything about John Doe's murders. In the world of Batman, villains get dangerously creative with their crimes. Surely, some of them fall into ridiculous territory, but many of them, if they were real, would be absolutely terrifying. Villains like Calendar Man and the Riddler may have specific themes, as does John Doe with the 7 deadly sins, though the latter's motives are more disturbing. John Doe turns himself in after the pride victim is found, who was a model he facially disfigured and who killed herself as she felt she couldn't live without her beauty. Doe threatens to plead insanity to avoid punishment unless Somerset and Mills escort him to an undisclosed location where they will find the final 2 victims, Envy and Wrath. Once at the spot, Doe reveals he represents Envy, and because he envies Mills's life with his wife Tracy, he killed her and sent her head to Mills in a box. Doe's final crime is intended to trigger the final sin, Wrath, in Mills. Doe urges Mills to become Wrath and teases him about Tracy's death, so he kills him and completes the crimes. Mills gives in and shoots Doe on the spot, killing him. Anyway, back to the theory. Another Reddit user adds that the Envy and Wrath crimes push Mills over the edge, and along with the pain and grief of Tracy's murder, he ends up becoming the Joker. The Clown Prince of Crime has had many origin stories over the years in comic books and movies as well, and Mills becoming the Joker is an interesting one. As Mills was a detective, that would give this Joker an advantage in his crimes and over Batman, making him a more complex and dangerous villain. Of course, this is just a theory, and whatever happened to Mills after Tracy's murder and Doe's death is left to the audience's imagination. As fun as this theory is, it's unlikely Seven has any connection to the world of Batman and DC Comics, but it does have one link to the best Batman movies. Morgan Freeman played Lucius Fox in Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, a close friend and ally of Bruce Wayne who knows he's Batman and gives him new weapons, vehicles, and more. Of course, this link didn't go unnoticed on Reddit, and some have added it to the theory of Seven being set in Gotham City. A Reddit user added that Somerset carried on with his retirement plans after the ending of Seven. To make the tradition more smooth and less traumatic, Somerset changed his name to Lucius Fox and ended up working at Wayne Enterprises. This extra part of the theory is a stretch, and though Seven is unrelated to Gotham City and Batman, they do have an interesting connection.